we got to talk through fantasies, and we learned the blueprints, each other's sexual languages, like all these things. And so we now, like, our box went from being this big, like this big of things that we have to try and explore, to this big of things that we have to try and explore, because we were able to learn so much about each other and ourselves.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast.
Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome for another episode of Owning Your Sexual Self.
Yay.
It's Rachel and Danny here.
How's it going, everybody?
You seem so thrilled to be here.
Doing good. Holding strong.
Yeah. He's having a little bit of a rough day.
It's a slow day.
His belly hurts.
Don't patronize me.
You guys know what it's like when men are sick.
Oh, yeah. Let's all start it up.
That's it. I can't help it. It is what it is. Facts are facts. Anyways, yeah. So we did a couples coaching program.
Yes.
Surprise!
Hey, how about it?
We talked about this a little bit in the masterclass that we did. If you listened to last week's episode, the How to Sex Up Your Space, we talked about this, about how we joined a couples program, and some people were a little bit confused why we would do that if we were already doing well in our relationship and in our marriage. And so we thought we'd come on and record this podcast for you and just talk a little bit more about that, and kind of why we joined the program, what we got out of the program, and then why we are now choosing to team up together and then deliver a program similar to what it was that we went through.
Yeah.
So I had known about this program that we did. It's through both of our mentors. So Alexa Bowditch and Jordan Bowditch. Like, they do this program called Couples Goals together. And I work with Sex and Love Co. as well. So I'm very familiar with couples goals. I'm very familiar with the techniques and everything that we were going to be teaching. It's a lot of things that I teach with the clients that I work with, but it was such a different experience to be able to be on the other side of this. And then for both of us, it was our first time like doing anything together like that, like a couples program.
Yeah.
We had done like very, very small thing at a conference that we went to a few years back. We had done a couples workshop together that included things like eye gazing and authentic relating, like sharing goals with each other. And it was it was a Vegas conference that we were in.
Oh, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, very long.
So I think it was even probably pre-marriage, honestly, now that I'm thinking of it. I think that might have been like 16 or 17. So anyways, that was very, very, very long time ago.
Very, very, very.
And I was so excited to be able to do this because, you know, it was, again, for me being in this work, being on the other side of it I knew it was going to be a different experience. Even though I had introduced some of these things to Danny before, it's different when you're being facilitated through something like this, when there's somebody on this other side of the Zoom and they're saying, okay, so now you two are, you know, and there was a whole group of us. So it's like, okay, now for the next, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, you're going to face each other and you're going to share, X, Y, and Z. They would give us the prompts to share. And I really liked that because it was so much different than us kind of sitting down, if we're sitting watching TV, if we're sitting over dinner, and then all of a sudden one of us is like, hey, what do you acknowledge about me? What do you love about me?
It's keeping the awkwardness out of bringing it up in just on any conversation.
Yeah.
So when they give you the prompts and you already have like that, you're already in it, you're already sitting in it. So it's so much easier to just let things fly.
Yeah, they would say like assume the position, and assume position in this container was face your partner and then connect eyes with them. Eye gazing was something that we did almost every single call, and eye gazing is such a great technique for us to be able to come together and it just when you make that connection, that eye-to-eye connection, you use the word awkward, so I'm going to go with that, but it is very awkward at first. Like
At first, yeah.
we just like giggled the whole time and
Yeah.
laughed, and then you're making eye contact and then you look away because you're nervous because
Right.
you just feel so seen, when you're making eye contact with your partner. It was awkward for you too.
Yeah.
Though, Danny, you've always been better at eye contact than I was.
Staring contests.
Yeah. That's what like I remember saying that at one point. I'm like, I feel like we're having a staring contest. I'm like, you can blink. He's
No.
like, they said to gaze.
No.
You win, sir. You
Challenge
win
accepted.
all of the staring contests.
Challenge accepted.
I have a disadvantage because I have contacts. That's always my excuse. So anyway, so lots of eye gazing in this, and it was, again, really cool exercises. I've taken people through this, but again, to be on the other side, to be facilitated, and also to know that you are in that personal space, because even though there's other people in the group and they were doing it too, these were all couples from all over the world. Some people were nomads, like literally zooming from their RVs, like talk about no excuses to do something like this. But there's people from all over the world. And on our very first call, we got to learn a little bit about each other, and all of us were going through the same things. We had been through the same things that each other were going through. What were some of your experiences and takeaways from like our first few calls?
Literally just hearing the same, like exactly just that was what was sticking out to me, is just things that you're hearing from other couples that are nowhere near you, but it's all similar stuff. It's just things that everyone goes through, that it just like, I don't understand why you want to make it seem like it's just the two of you, because it's happening so much around you that you don't want to think about it. But then when it gets brought out to the open, you're like, okay, maybe we're not the only ones. So,
and what was on your episode that you recorded by yourself, you use one of Jordan's phrases, what's most familiar is most universal.
I don't want to botch it again.
Yeah, something like that.
If it's like what's most
present is most universal.
No, what's most, I say familiar because I can't think of the other word yet.
Word. Yeah, it's something.
It's most familiar is most universal.
We need to reach out to him so we can stop.
Just stop botching it. Stop fucking it up. Sorry, Jordan.
But you get the idea. So what we're saying is that as people, we would share something that we were going through. Like one of the very first calls, if not the first call, we had gone through to a funeral that day. One of Danny's coworkers lost her partner. It felt very just close to us. In situations like that, I'm always reminded to just love on him a little bit more, appreciate the things that we have in life. And so that was a hard call. And, we share that, and there's other people on the call that have been through similar things. And so, while we felt at that time like we were the only ones going through that, there was other people on the call that were experiencing loss in different ways.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, and one of my favorite things about going through this program was to also realize that there's other couples out there that are also invested in doing this type of work. A really, really small percentage of couples will ever do any sort of work like this, any sort of coaching, therapy, even counseling, whatever you want to call it. Not a lot of people will invest in something like this. And to take it a step further, invest in it when things are already going well. So many times people reach out for these sorts of services when things are a little bit rocky or a little bit shaky at home,
Yeah.
So yeah, just the fact that everybody in this group that we were in was already in a good place, and they wanted more in their relationship was just really, really cool to see and really inspiring. And I just loved being in that container. We agreed, like, we want to try to bring that more to our community here in person. And so one of the reasons why we are teaming up, and Connected Couple is a program that I've ran before in the past where it's just been me, but to be able to bring Danny in on the experience now that he's had some experience like in the coaching world, again, like people are asking him, like his dad asked him, he was like, so are you like a sex coach?
Yeah. Right.
No, he's not a sex coach.
No.
He is the husband of a sex coach. And so he learns along the way, like you are my guinea pig for so many things. And
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, yeah, that's
We
really
get
it.
to try all the new things that I get to learn through my teachings and trainings and everything. And I bring them home and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tie you up now. I'm going to use this little feather thing. I'm going to drip this wax on you. And he's always game.
Just always there for new opportunities.
Yes. See, learning, we're growing. It's so good.
Oh God. All right.
Oh, he's blushing.
Oh my God.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that he's blushing and also has yawned at least 5 times by now.
Oh, I'm so tired. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to like hold it back. It's tough. Sorry.
They had to call you out there. But see, again, man flu, telling you. So, okay, what would you say, thinking back on the program, were some of the things that you felt resistance to? Like when it came up and we had to do it, you were like, ugh, I don't eating it.
See, I wouldn't say that I was holding too much back. I didn't feel a lot of resistance. I definitely felt that being in that container, it was so much easier to allow myself to kind of just let things out, be a part of it, just almost bring everything in and let everything out. Because at that point, if you're trying to hold something back, but then you're seeing everyone else just express themselves in a way that really is just truly vulnerable, then why not keep going with it?
No like exercises or anything that we did that you felt just like weird or just scrunchiness around?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
No. I mean, at least I tried. Tried making through all of them, even if it was like laughing or you didn't know what to say, but at least you're like in it.
Yeah.
Just when you don't know things to say, you just let out whatever you can, even though if it's just like stumbling, mumbling, or maybe a few words come out. But at least you're trying. At least you're not just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. It was. I felt, and maybe resistance, not the right word, but just kind of feeling on the spot. And when I say on the spot, not on the spot like with the whole group, but on the spot when it was just you and I, and when we would share like I acknowledge you for, I love you so much because these are things that you think about on the daily, but then to express them and share them while looking you in the eye and not being able to look away and like just being seen and heard in myself and just trusting that you would receive what I was saying. I just remember like having to hold that back laughter and giggles and like just again like feeling that nervous energy a little bit,
right?
Which is normal, and that's why I want to talk about kind of more in depth on our experience with it, because these are things that are going to come up for the people that decide to join us for Connected Couple. So yeah. And then, so in this program, we did a lot of the exercise that we did were again on authentic relating. So that is basically vulnerability sharing with one another. We did the 3-minute game, which we've talked about often. The 3-minute game, which we've talked about often, or you might have heard me refer to it as the touch game. Cannot stop yawning. I'm just cracking up over here.
It's not that it's boring.
No.
I just don't know what's going on.
Well, he did want to take a nap, and I was like, we got to we got to record this podcast.
I'll make it.
It's got to be done.
Yeah.
So thanks again for doing this and being here. So touch game, 3-minute game, eye gazing. We did a lot of dancing together.
Yeah.
That was interesting too. Okay, not just slow dancing, like some fun, like primal dancing.
Weird dancing. It was fun though. Overall, it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, how about the first time we were doing breath work together, and then you do your inhale, and then you would do that audible, that exhale, and like hearing each other exhale, like that didn't make you want to giggle or laugh or
it did a little bit.
Like
it did a little bit. But that's just because like seeing stupid videos of people like in like meditation rooms or like yoga where they're like, like I just felt like I want to do that so bad just to be funny. But then I'm like, no, there's so much seriousness going on. I just gotta keep it together. Like,
yes,
I
felt that too. I felt like I had to hold back laughter a lot of times in those moments.
Yeah.
Or one time we were like we had to still keep our eyes closed, and we knew we were within distance of each other, but it was like, okay, now reach out and find your partner. And so you're just like blindly reaching out in front of you with your eyes closed, like try to find each other.
Yeah.
It reminded me of I think it's from Bridesmaids, where she like is like there's a penis on her face, and it's like just like she does this with her hand, like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Oh my God.
You're way off. You might be way off on movie titles.
No, I feel like it's a bridesmaid thing. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know.
Okay.
But I hope people listening know what I'm talking about. But yes, it's like in the beginning of the movie where she's like, it's just like there and they're trying to get your attention. It's like just penis on the face.
No clue what you are watching.
Man who knows every single movie quote.
Yep. But not when it comes to penises on faces. Maybe it's not my.
It wasn't an actual penis. It was her hand, and she was like making. Okay, we're moving on.
On to the next.
We're moving on, but that's what it reminded me of anyways, like reaching out, trying to find each other.
Okay.
How about when we learned the dom sub or leader follower stuff? That was a first for us.
Okay, yeah. Yes, it was.
What do you remember about that? And that was okay, so that was a call. We had to miss that call because you were sick. Oh, look at that. You were sick, so we didn't get them on the call. So we watched the replay. So it was a whole different dynamic watching the replay because you weren't like we weren't in
with everyone. You're listening to everyone with their responses and the way that they were going through the prompts and the work, but then we're just listening. But it's not like it definitely didn't feel like it was at us.
Yeah. And you were just coming off getting sick, and then we watched in the middle of the day at 1 p.m. So here we are like in our bedroom trying to do these intro to dom sub things, and it's just like daylight out, which didn't really matter, but it was a little bit hard. You now heard us like talk about how we like to set the mood and like set the intention with the space. So this was pre having our sex room now.
Yep.
And so it was just very interesting just doing some dom sub play at 1 p.m. on a
like we had
Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, we had to like shut the blinds and make it seem like it wasn't as early as it was.
Yes, we may do. And so in that exercise, and this is something that we will also take couples through that join us for Connected Couple, very, very, very entry level. So if you've never explored with this or, it was not intimidating whatsoever. But if you are someone that is mostly in the subspace versus being in the dom space, in this exercise, you were to be in both roles. So there was one point where I was in the leader role and he was in the follower role, and then we, switched. So it was definitely different for me anyways, like to be in that leader role. Cause in our sex life, like I primarily am sub, you were dom. So that was interesting. And like to have you, bowing at my feet and, like worshiping me like that, like, I don't know, I'm saying like a lot because I was a little like nervous now thinking back to it, but it just felt very out of our character.
Very much so.
What do you remember? Do you want to categorize or capitalize anything on that experience?
I guess I was kind of in the same boat as you. It was very much out of our character. So going through that motion, it was just almost going through the motion on it because it wasn't quite what we're used to. So there wasn't a whole lot of more emphasis to be put on it because it was just like, this is something that we're not even used to doing at all.
Yeah. And for other couples that were in our group, so many people realized that they actually liked being a dom a lot more than they liked being in the subspace. And so that was really cool for us to be able to hear and get shares from people that wanted to share after the experience. And that's what we hope for the people that are coming into our program, Connected Couple, because for so many of you, this is going to be the first time that these things are even talked about. It's going to be the first time that you've done anything like a BDSM quiz, BDSM quiz or erotic blueprint or any of the exercises that we're going to take you through. And so you just get to learn so much about yourself as you're going through this program. I'm gonna get the giggles now because you keep
We're
yawning.
like 20 minutes and I'll be on like
Making
18 million times.
literally 18 times. We need some peppermint oil in here for you.
It feels like
So yeah, what would you say is like now looking back, so we've completed this program, it's been a few weeks now since we've completed it ourselves. What would you say have been the biggest benefits for us?
just trusting in each other with what, like, even if you have something to say, trust that that other person is going to recognize what you're going through and express back just the gratitude that you're actually even expressing that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like really big for me.
Yeah. And that has carried over in our relationship even now after this program is over. It's really like set the tone and set the stage for us to continue having these conversations and these more in-depth conversations, just getting past, what I always refer to as a surface level conversation, how was your day? What went on in your day? What did you have for lunch? Like those typical conversations. How are we don't say how are the kids, but a lot of people do. So how are the kids? What are the dogs do today? That kind of stuff. And throughout this program, we also just uncovered so much for ourselves, sexually, and we got to talk through fantasies and we learned the blueprints, each other's sexual languages, like all these things. And so we now, like, our box went from being this big, like this big of things that we have to try and explore, to this big of things that we have to try and explore, because we were able to learn so much about each other and ourselves. I learned more about myself, like creating the more intimate space, like how much that was going to make an impact for us. Learned how much music during intimacy makes a difference for me, or smells makes a difference, and learning more about what it means to be an energetic blueprint, and for you being a sexual blueprint, like learning more about what that means for now us to be able to come together in intimacy. So why, if somebody's listening and they're like on the fence about joining us for Connected Couple,
Okay,
what advice would you give them? How would you describe our program?
How would I describe our program? Oh, God. Well, if you are looking to just upgrade your relationship life without really feeling like it's on like the brink of disaster, I might be going too harsh on that, but I feel like it's just finding out more about you and more about your partner and just taking that and running with it. I mean, how would you say it? I feel like I went a little one way and I went one way.
It's okay. No, I think that was a good explanation. And I would say for couples that are wanting, we call it Connected Couple for a reason. Couples that are wanting more connection and intimacy with each other. We are creating that container and teaching you the things to basically make those things happen in your life. And so even after the program is complete, you're going to be able to take these tools and things that we're teaching you and carry them on into your life. We just talked about the other day, I made a post about this, about our bath time discussion that we had for Tuesday night for our No TV Tuesday, and just how we went in depth about what we want for our relationship, like what our words and our focus is going to be for this year for the two of us together. We always just talk about individual goals with each other, but what do we want to focus on, within our relationship?
Yeah.
So, in that conversation, like we talked about meal prepping and money dates and content planning together, more sex, the type of sex that we're wanting to have, all kinds of things that we were able to cover. And that is all because we went through this program. We're continuing to do the practices that we learned in this program. And so having conversations in depth like this they get to become easier and easier for us as we continue to do them.
Yeah.
And, I think one thing that has been helpful for us too is now you being able to learn things like eye gazing and touch game and things like that. Like we're able to jump right into them. You're able to kind of lead that a little bit better for us. So it's not just one of us initiating, like it's, it's like an even feel for us now. And that has been really nice.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah. So yeah, in general, couples again that are wanting to connect more, they're wanting to learn more about their sexual selves, they're wanting to learn more about their partner, they're wanting to maybe explore more of their kinks and things like that. All of that is covered in Connected Couple. Like, we are taking you through all of those things. You're going to be able to get to do the eye gazing, the 3-minute game, the dancing, all of the things. We're going to do some sex toy demonstrations for you, which I'm really excited about. That's one of my most favorite things to talk about, is different sex toys. But teaching you how to play with these things, teaching you how to incorporate them into your intimate life. Just really, really, really cool stuff. Again, that not a lot of couples will ever go through. So, anything else that you would like to add?
Gonna be fun.
Sell that so well. It is going to be fun.
It's gonna be fun. No, this is gonna be a good chance for women who have had the difficulty of getting their partner to really realize like what this can turn around for them as well, for their relationship health. And it's really relatable with me, with guys who are just wanting to start as well, because it hasn't been long since I started my journey in this, and I feel just with the little bit I've gone through has made a huge impact on just the way we look at things and the way I've taken our relationship and kind of made so many changes. So I feel like just even that little bit, to where you might not feel like you're getting a lot out of it, I feel like just the stuff that we can even bring to the table is just going to make some drastic changes that you might not feel it now, but could go through.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun time. And we found ourselves too, a lot of times after the calls were over, continuing what we were doing in the call. So whether that was one of the exercises or a conversation or anything like that, or we would carve out time after the call just to kind of talk through what came up for in the session and came up for each of us in the session, or what one of us maybe want to elaborate on, or if I had questions or he had questions about something that I shared, we allowed space for that. And so a lot of times we're leaving these calls turned on, to say it frankly, turned on. Generally, sex was happening right after, or dinner and then sex. And so that was really nice. And so for us, you've heard me talk about before, we have our No TV Tuesdays that we do, and that's usually a night of intimacy and connection for us. And so then having the group happen on Wednesdays, we had that twice a week. And for me, I realized like I definitely want to make more time for us to be able to connect like that intimately, do more of things like the King and Queen worship and things like that in our weekly or monthly planning, if you will. Yeah. I love putting things on the schedule, because then it's like gives me something to look forward to for that week. Like sex, date night. Tonight we have a date night. Yeah. Going to the Red Wings game. We're excited. The Red Wings. We like to do all kinds of fun things together. Yeah. All right, y'all. So if you would like to join us for Connected Couple, we start on January 17th. So it's just a couple days from now. If you're listening to this on the day the podcast came out, that is tomorrow. Our calls are going to be on Tuesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. This program is going to run for 7 weeks. So you get the two of us for 7 weeks inside this container. We are hoping to have 12 couples that join us for this program. And again, everything that we just talked about in this podcast today, you will get inside that program with us. And we're so pumped to deliver it to you. Boop, boop, boop. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. And please, please, please reach out if you have any questions. If you would like to join us for a Connected Couple, of course, the link will be in the show notes here. Link is in my bio, or you can go to rachelmain.com under Work With Me, and you will see Connected Couple right there.
Right there.
All right. Until next week.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at @TheRachelMain. I'll see you next week.